Hello, my name is Susan, and today I'll critically reflect on one activity that I did as a child, which was Tahitian dancing. I grew up in New Caledonia, an island characterized by its high range of cultural diversity, and my peers at school, they had different customs, different beliefs, different family structure. I had to progressively make sense of all that as a child. And I was practicing Tahitian dance from 7 till 11 years old. We had to learn some hand movements and what it represented, like flowers, stars, or trees. And with some of the arms gestures, we would either be giving love, for example, or inviting the audience. It was almost like telling a story, but with a different language. And we were participating in shows, we were performing at school, but also at the cultural center in my town. And it strengthened my identity, I believe, as being part of the community and being part of projects. And among the values that a child can get from participating in an activity, I think I would really like to focus on openness, curiosity, and respect for others. They had an impact on my ability to think less in an ethnocentric way, but to focus rather on cultural relativism. I believe it had an influence on my understanding as a teacher, as I've always been interested by this transmission of knowledge. And it doesn't go only in one direction. When you're a teacher, you keep learning because it's an interaction. So you transmit and you receive, and it's a transformation process. So Tahitian dance, but also the multicultural environment in which I practiced it, made me conscious that people don't have the same way to express concepts, and that therefore they don't have the same way to learn and apprehend the world at the same time. In Piaget's theory of cognitive development, he talks about the importance of participating in the community and the exposition to culture as being especially important around the age of 7 in the concrete operation stage, which is the stage where you start to represent events mentally and you start to see things from another viewpoint. So I believe in the context of the dance classes, we had to learn to work together, to coordinate. So I found Piaget's ideas interesting. However, it seems like his theory is entirely relying on age, is about age as a base of analysis for cognitive development. But to me, there's not enough emphasis on the social context. I identify my personal experience as more closely related to a social cultural theory, like Vygotsky's theory, for example, where the child internalizes what he sees and language is an active tool and influences the way he. However, I believe that Kohlberg's theory is even more appropriate to my own experience, as he really linked both cognitive development and socialization as components of moral development. And he explains that there's different stages of moral development, but that in the level 2 of morality, which he calls conventional morality, we learn respect and we progressively learn to appreciate different viewpoints. So when our own norms are being challenged, we make new connections in the brain as a child and we evolve. And the plurality of experience that you have and the one that I could experience in my school and in my dance school as well became a value and even something to stand for. Kohlberg stressed social experiences like interpersonal discussions and debates, exposition to differences as stimulating people's mental processes. And I wish to incorporate those ideas into my own ways of teaching in the future. So I wish to pass on the values of ethical relativism, tolerance, adaptability as well to my future students. And around the age of 7, 8 years old, children start to understand that beliefs are not just copies of reality, but rather different interpretations. So I believe that being exposed to a variety of ideas, cultural practices, and even practicing activities that are not part of your own culture enhances this capacity of relativism and influences our level of tolerance.